For Fighting Irish Preview, I'm Phil Houck. The Cal Golden Bears at Notre Dame today, and the Irish are looking to get off of an 0-2 snide to start the season. 296 days since the Irish last won a football game, and hopefully that count stops today. And here's what I'm thinking. Number one, Drew Pine gets his first start ever as the quarterback. He's seen action before, so fans kind of know what they're getting. He's a junior by class, sophomore by eligibility. Over the top leadership skills, physical skills, maybe not quite so certain. Not the runner Tyler Buckner was, but might be a better, more accurate passer than Buckner. Look for the Irish really to rally behind him today due to those leadership skills and due to the fact that this team faces adversity at 0-2. Number two, about what I'm thinking, the Irish running game, the offensive line must gel today. I think they might. Although this is a really good Cal defense, and they play kind of a tricky 4-2-5 scheme. That's right, or I mean a 2-4-5 scheme. That's right, I said a 2-4-5 scheme. They'll actually, their outside linebackers will play a bit like linemen on the outside on each side, but they'll be in 2-point stances, and that's their base defense. And the key to that running game are two guys besides the offensive line, Audric Estime and Chris Tyree. Tyree has been mostly ignored through the first two games. I expect the Irish to find ways to get him the football and to get him some more touches. Only 9 touches, including his 3 pass receptions through the first 2 games. Arguably one of the most explosive players, potentially explosive players on this team. They've got to find ways to get him the ball. And Audric Estime, got to get him started. And a clue to if Notre Dame's offensive line is being effective today. Note where the defense first makes contact with the Irish running back. If that is in front of the line of scrimmage, in other words, if there's in positive territory, that's good news. But if that first contact is taking place behind the line of scrimmage, that's not good. And that's primarily what we've seen through the first 2 games, is that first contact taking place before the running back is even able to hit the hole. And the third thing I'm thinking of, the defense and turnovers. Defense and turnovers, key today. By and large, the ND defense has performed well this year. 3 touchdowns against Ohio State. Just 19 points given up against Marshall. You can't count the pick 6 that was given up by the offense. So that's pretty good. But when the offense needed the defense to pick them up in both games, the fourth quarter, the defense gave up long, over 90-yard drives. 96 and 94, I think, were the actual exact numbers. And you just can't do that when the game's on the line. So you got to have 4 quarters out of this defense today, and you gotta dominate in the trenches. And I think the defensive line should be able to do that today, considering the offensive line looks to be one of the weaker parts of the Cal attack here today. It's very unsettled. They've had some injuries there, and the Irish pass rush and run defense up front should be able to dominate, and maybe they can cause some hurries. Maybe they can just get some pressures. Maybe they can get some sacks, and maybe those can turn into turnovers. That can be strip sacks, and that can also be strip fumbles, and that can also be interceptions. Notre Dame needs a turnover in the worst way. No turnovers through 2 games. One of only 8 teams in the country that doesn't have a turnover forced yet. And that's a hard number to believe when you consider how well Notre Dame overall has been as a turnover team the last 5 years. Also, play in the fourth quarter. The defense has got to find a way to get the opponents off the field in that fourth quarter if the game is still on the line, and it may well be today because I see a low-scoring affair. Those are the things I'm thinking. Humid today and warm today. Game time temperature should be about 87 degrees. And the Irish are 11-point favorites. Like I said, I see a low-scoring game today. In the Fighting Irish Preview pick, Notre Dame 19, Cal 14. And for Fighting Irish Preview, I'm Phil Houck. Enjoy the game today, and I'll talk to you after it's over.